Yo, what is up guys, Grim here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Keystone coming in patch 3.22, which I think has some of the most potential out of all the new Keystones being added. And the Keystone in question is the 7th Gate Keystone here, which has a couple different ways it could work. So the Keystone states the following: all possible League map crafting options are available while 6 gateways are allocated. So these 6 gateways are the 6 gateways you use to traverse the Atlas passive tree. You only need to pass to 3 of them, you can allocate them and then allocate the other corresponding side. So as long as you have all 6 of these activated, you'll be able to get the other effect, which states all possible League map crafting options are available. But what does that mean? Well, it could mean one of two things. League map crafting options are essentially Kirac modifiers, the modifiers that you gain access to and can apply to your maps for a Chaos Orb fee. In patch 3.21, we had Abyss, Essence, Ambush, Metamorph, Heist, Expedition, and Harvest. In order to gain access to these mods, you of course need to complete maps and bonus objectives and pretty much unlock the entire Atlas. But once you do, you have all of them. Now there's 2 different ways you can interpret this brand new Keystone. One way to interpret it would be that you simply get all the crafting options from this Keystone as soon as you allocate it, meaning you don't have to wait to complete all of the maps on your Atlas, meaning you could fast track your way to getting the harder to get ones, like in this case Harvest, which are normally gated between, completing 100 maps, let's say. The other way to interpret the 7th gate though is that it makes previously unobtainable Kirac modifiers on the map device available in leagues where they shouldn't be able to be. Now that is the one which I want to investigate. Out of the 2, the first one is incredibly weak and hardly anyone will ever use this Keystone, but the second one, which makes possible things that are not normally possible, is definitely incredibly powerful. And I want to talk a little bit about that power. In order to understand the power of this Keystone, if it works in the stronger way we think it might, let's see how it would impact a patch 3.21 Legion Atlas passive tree, which a lot of people were using to farm up a ton of currency. So this is the Atlas passive tree I used in 3.21 here. And in 3.21, Legion of course was not on the map device. If it had been, or I had access to it, I would have been able to apply an additional Legion monolith and essentially get 50% more Legions in tons of my maps, which would have been a massive boost to my efficiency and the amount I could farm. So it's definitely a massive bonus if I could gain access to it. And that's exactly what the 7th gate is potentially offering us. But the question is, how strong is it and what is the cost associated with allocating it? Well, let's investigate that. So this is a Domination Legion Atlas passive tree here, which used 118 points. Now, in the new patch, the Atlas passive tree has seen a bit of a rework, and we do have access to that new tree, and I've whipped up the similar tree with the new Atlas passive tree so we can compare things. But one thing you'll notice on the old tree is that we were already using one of the Eldritch gateways required to make the Keystone work. Not only that though, we were pathing right next to another one of them, meaning that there's not really a whole lot of travel involved in getting the gates we need anyway. But let's take a quick look at the new Atlas passive tree. So this is the same exact strategy with very similar point allocation, which gets everything that we were already getting, but on the new tree. Now you can see it's a little bit more expensive here. Instead of 118 points, it's 121 points because they moved a few things around. But we've also got the new Keystone here, the 7th gate, right next to somewhere we're already pathing, which is of course very nice indeed. And we still retain all of our similar pathing to get to the cryptic gates that we already wanted to, which is really good. Now, the thing is though, we actually also path near the very final gate over here, meaning we are fully in range of everything we need to allocate the 7th gate. So really, it's not actually that much of a downside, but the potential upside is absolutely incredible if it gains us access to all of the potential Kirac modifiers modifiers that could exist on the bench. And this won't only just be used for Legion, but in this case, it's very easy to access. So if we actually take a look and see how many points it ends up consuming, we've got 121 without 7th Gate, and it's only 125 with 7th Gate. And the reason for that is that we can get a little bit more efficient with our pathing here by allocating this other gate here when we actually want to go for it. So overall, we spend only a few extra points to get this incredibly powerful keystone and get an extra Legion monolith in every single Legion map we want to. Overall, that's a massive gain and a huge buff to the Legion strategy that we were running in patch 3.21. Now, overall, it's not the craziest thing in 3.22 because Legion actually is already on the map device in 3.22's rotation. So you likely won't be using this specific tree until Legion is not present on the map device, maybe in patch 3.23. So which mechanics would you 7th Gate other than Legion, especially in patch 3.22? Well, the modifiers that we're getting access to in 3.22 are Essence, Domination, Breach, Harbinger, Legion, Delirium, and Ritual. Now, there's a ton of these on here, which I actually would consider 7th gating if they weren't already accessible to us. And those modifiers are Breach, Legion, Harbinger, and Essence. Each of those mechanics are strong enough that I would actually use 7th Gate to unlock them if we didn't already have access to them. Now, there's a few mechanics missing from this set of Kirak mods, which I would absolutely use 7th Gate in 3.22 to access if I wanted to use the corresponding strategies that required them. First up is Harvest. 7th Gating Harvest is an absolute no-brainer. It's one of the strongest mechanics, and using the map device instead of a compass can save you a ton of currency. Heist is also another one I would 7th Gate, guaranteeing heist lockers is completely crazy. Strongbox is also another phenomenal one, which you can 7th Gate if it works the way we think it does, and is one of the best modifiers for Magic Find strategies with the compass. Beyond is also great with the new keystone, which we'll talk about soon. I imagine it's going to be a pretty fun one to try out, and you can 7th Gate it. And finally, Abyss, again for Magic Find or Delirium strategies, could also be one you might want to investigate using 7th Gate for. Overall, I think this keystone has massive potential to shake things up and give us a lot more freedom in the strategies we're running based on what we're given. I hope it works in the more powerful way, but let me know what you guys think of this keystone, whether you think it's going to be strong or if it's going to be weak like the other version we discussed, and if I miss anything here which you guys think is going to be particularly strong with it. And of course, until next time, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Cheers.